Bench press. This is meant to build your chest, and for most people, they get a lot of front delt and sometimes some shoulder impingement. And so, if your technique is wrong, you're definitely leaving some gains on the table. Or if you're just looking to get stronger, having better form is definitely going to make you feel much more stable and stronger. And so the problem isn't the effort, the problem is usually the technique. And so today I'm going to break down the 5 most common bench press mistakes that I've seen in clients and myself, and why fixing them will help your progress and get you a stronger bench. So let's get to it. The first mistake is flared elbows. A lot of people will be in this 90-degree position, and I feel like this is the number one bench press mistake that I commonly see. It's something that I used to do as well. People do it with their push-ups, elbows out at 90 degrees, and it looks powerful, but it's not. And it's wrong because when you flare out to 90 degrees, the head of your humerus, your upper arm bone, migrates forward and upward into the shoulder socket, and the tendons and the bursa, the stuff around it, gets pinched in every rep. And so if you do this enough, you're gonna get classic shoulder impingement, sharp pain in the front of the shoulder, especially at lockout. And so the pec is also a mechanically disadvantaged position to generate force. So you're training around the muscle instead of through it. So the fix is to tuck your elbows at approximately 45 to 75 degrees from your torso, not 90. And think about bending the bar towards your feet as you lower it. And this cue engages the lat tension. I've told you, pretend like you're breaking the bar. And your forearms should be vertical at the bottom position and not here. It should be like you're punching the ceiling. To protect the shoulders, load the chest. The pec major, the big pec muscle, functions to horizontally adduct the arm, brings it across the body. That motion is maximized when the elbows are tucked at a moderate angle, not flared. So fix the elbow path and you'll feel your chest like never before, and that goes for machines as well. So this will start to cause that shoulder to dump forward. If you do that and you feel right here, you can feel that coming forward, and then switch it by tucking that elbow here, and you can feel the tension relax in the front delt. So that one's hard to show unless I have my camera up here. So elbows from here to here. That helps you also lock in your lats a little bit more too. Fists towards the ceiling. You're punching the ceiling. You don't want to be here or here, just straight. And then I always push when I'm benching. I'm pushing slightly back into the rack. The next is having no leg drive and an unstable base. And this typically looks like they're just not activating their legs at all. And I can tell because when they start to struggle, their legs will come up to compensate for how difficult it is instead of driving down. You would think that it doesn't include your legs, but it does help stabilize you quite a bit. And it is definitely a full body movement. It is the progression off of a push-up, basically. And the force production chain starts at your feet and travels through your legs to stabilize your hips and your core. And that helps you to load into your upper back and drives through your arms and into the bar. And if you lift your feet off the floor or let them float passively, if you're too short, then you've immediately removed the foundation of that chain. And of course, that's gonna make it feel a lot worse. And the reason why it's wrong is because without leg drive and a stable base, your body has no rigid platform to press from. You'll see the hips bounce, the torso will shift laterally side to side, the lower back will lose that arch, and all of that energy is leaving your pressing system instead of going into the bar. So less force production means less stability, which means more injury risk. And so to fix this, you want your feet, you can't see my feet, but flat on the floor. And then when you're pushing into the bar, you're squeezing your glutes to lock in your hips, and you're pressing into your feet to get that chain to stay connected. Ouch. So you could also put plates under your feet if you are too short. And think of it like a leg press. You're driving your body away from the floor and the bench is anchoring you. So glute lightly contracted and your whole body should feel locked into place. Similar to locking into a deadlift. The cue that I remember is to drive the floor away and to own the weight, don't let the weight own you. The third mistake is bouncing it off of your chest. I think I've been here before, and there is a touch and go method that is great to use, but if you're trying to get stronger, I think that can definitely be something to look into. And bouncing off your chest is actually doing nothing but working the eccentric, unless you're just slamming it on your chest and then bouncing it. But most of the time it's bouncing off the rib cage, and the bouncing transfers the stretch energy from the elastic recoil of the chest and ribs back into the bar, which bypasses muscular effort entirely. And so your pec basically has to do nothing at the bottom, which the stretch is where we have the most mechanically advantageous position for muscle growth or hypertrophy. And so the stretched loaded muscle at the bottom of the bench press is where mechanical tension is the highest, and mechanical tension is one of the variables of hypertrophy, and that's also where growth stimulus is the greatest. So when you bounce, you are eliminating that stimulus, and you also can risk fractures if you're going heavy enough, or bruising, and definitely damage yourself more than you'd like to. So the fix is to control the descent and don't guide the bar down in 2 seconds, but with deliberate intent, definitely take a few seconds to get to the bottom. And at the bottom, there are 2 options depending on your goals. Paused reps for, it can be hypertrophy and technique focused, and half a second or no, 1 to 2 seconds dead stop at the chest, like 1, 2, and that will eliminate that elastic contribution entirely and forces pure muscular contraction from a dead stop. And that's great for building strength and also improving technique. And then there's the touch and go, which is for hypertrophy, which is where you just do normal cadence, and that's with 0 bounce, but still control, no elastic rebound, no weight redistribution. The eccentric transitions smoothly into the concentric. So there's a time and a place for everything, but those 2 techniques are going to get you a lot further. If I feel stuck with the touch and go and I can't get the weight up more, I will switch to a phase of the pause so that I can break through that barrier, and I do my pauses where my sticking point is. The next mistake is letting the bar path drift forward, which means that instead of going, it goes this way, and instead of staying in line with the shoulder joint, it drifts towards the face, which is what happens every single time I fail my bench. And they're doing that too often, drifting away, can be really hard on your shoulder. And if you watch someone bench from the side, the bar starts over their shoulders at the top. And so when they lower it, it usually drifts forward towards their face. And when they press, it's going to go back. And this path is massively inefficient and load the front delt instead of the pec. And so that's when you come to your face. I'm bringing it towards my sternum and then into the bar. But a joint-friendly bar path keeps the bar roughly over the shoulder joint at the top and travels in a slight arc down towards the lower chest, if it's the correct one. So if the bar drifts forward towards the neck and face, so instead of benching it, it comes here, you've extended the moment arm at the shoulder, loading the anterior delt and excessively stressing the rotator cuff. So you also lose the mechanical advantage of pec major, which is much bigger than the front delt. So the fix is to touch the bar instead of coming here when you're coming down. You want to touch it to the upper ab, if you're a woman, right where your sports bra is or right where your is, not your clavicle. Many think that they're touching the mid chest, but they're actually coming near the upper chest because their elbows are too high. And so they're here, and it's really easy to come to that upper chest. If your arms are tucked, it's a lot easier to come to this part here. And I'll show you here in a second what that looks like. But the bar should track downward in a subtle arc, landing about nipple line or just below, and then you're pushing into the rack. So the cue is bar to the lower chest. If the bar is near your neck, your path is off, or upper chest. So bar path. here, not here, but rather there. So not here, but there. Last one, not using a proper arch. So there's flat back, and then you see them do a little arch. And the arch is probably one of the most controversial technique topics in lifting. Big power lifters sometimes do extreme arches because that reduces the amount of moving of the bar they have to do to get the point. And it matters because a proper arch does two things. It increases the thoracic extension, which retracts and depresses the scapula, creating a stable pressing platform and protecting the shoulder joint. And it reduces the range of motion to the chest, meaning the bar doesn't have to travel as far, which is mechanically safer for the shoulder at depth and great if you're a power lifter. And lumbar hyperextension, where only the lower back arches and the butt lifts off the bench, is a different story. It is compressing the lumbar spine, the lower back, and removes the leg drive, and will be flagged in competition if you're lifting. And the arch should come from thoracic extension, not lower back extension. And so before you unrack, set your arch by pulling your shoulder blades together and down, so retraction and depression, and squeeze your upper back into the bench, and now create a small natural arch through your mid-back. Glutes stay on the bench, feet drive on the floor, and think of chest up, shoulders back and down, and create the shelf. A properly set arch will also keep your bar path honest, and when your chest is elevated towards the bar, naturally lands lower and the path tightens up. And so a thoracic arch stabilizes the shoulder girdle, protects the joint, and optimizes the pressing position. And if you do it correctly, it's one of the best things you can do for your bench. All in all, so there you go. 5 mistakes, 5 fixes, 5 cues you can use at your very next session. So thank you for watching. Now I'm definitely gonna get a good lift in. So let's put it together. What was it? Elbows. So elbows here, feet planted, arch, shoulders down and back. Then we have core tight, pressing up. The bar is stacked over my shoulders. When I come down, I'm coming to my low chest, controlling, not bouncing. I'm gonna do a pause, 1, 2, back into the rack. Shoulders down, breaking the bar, 1, 2. What else do I have? I have some back I need to do, and definitely some shoulders. So let's get to it.
I don't even know who beat this is, man. If it's your beat you hear, man, just contact me. I'm paying for the damages. You know what it is. Ain't got no hook in that. Bitch, I'm flexing. I ain't got time to be texting. 6 Mile nigga drink Texas with them country boys cause I text them. These niggas acting. Safe to say I'm living what I'm rapping. Loving freak bitch, that's ratchet. Eat the dick up without accent. Peep the go y'all cause I'm sagging. No more nice guy, I'm savage. Getting money turned into a habit. I be making plays like Madden. Being broke funny, stop laughing. Go out there and get it, stop asking. Put the shit in motion, don't imagine. Bad bitches with me like a pageant. Chase me around the club like Pac-Man. Pull up in that coupe like Batman. Plenty down seas, I'm the hat man. 10K on me, I'm the rap man. Grandma said I'm sharp, I should tap dance on you niggas. I'm about to take a lean break in a minute. You ain't know what niggas was till you see me in them. I know you get butterflies when you hear the lyrics. Hell yeah, these hoes know who really winning. I'm a young boss nigga, you a little nigga. Had racks stashed in mama house when I was living with her. Can't conduct yourself around bosses, I eat dinner with them. Rock mink furs in the winter with them. Man, I'm shitting on these pussies like kitty litter. Watch you change colors when it hit the shifter. Even got the 4-5 on me.